All praises to Yahawah, Yahawah, Makar Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson going into how obvious it is that Isaiah 4 and 1 is definitely going to come to pass, all right? And all the women that are making it like they've got it together and all of these types of things that they do, they're basically just saying it because they're in a position now that men have actually ultimately allowed them to be in, right? Because if men decided that they didn't want women to have any power, women would have no power. All right. Men are in charge of who. Well, Yahawah is ultimately in charge of who has power on the earth, but men are the ones that he gives power to on earth. This is Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So a day is coming where 7 women, which it doesn't really mean 7, it means a large amount, right? Or like a specific amount for each person is going to be given to each man in that day, each man of the elect. And women are going to come onto these men saying basically, we don't care about how much riches you've got. We've got our own. We'll take care of ourselves, but we just want to be around you. That's what's getting ready to happen, man. And over in Ukraine, where there's war happening right now, right? Women ain't proud no more over there. And when the lockdown occurred, right, when these lockdowns occurred, women wasn't talking about no female rights activists during that time. They was terrified and they were scared. And as soon as chaos happened, women always get in line, man. They always get in line during these kind of times. Because the times that's getting ready to come upon the earth are going to be so scary that even men are going to crumble. And let me find that scripture. This is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 4. And these are the words that Yahawah spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith Yahawah, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. So peace ain't what's coming to the earth. Verse 6, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turning to paleness. So men are going to be screaming and acting like women in the time that's getting ready to happen. So if men are going to be acting like that, how much more women? You had a situation where some soldiers was told to lay down their weapons over there in Ukraine, otherwise they're going to be destroyed, right? Otherwise they're going to just be blown up pretty much. And they told them guys to go F themselves. They told the Russian soldiers to go F themselves, and then they perished. They're just not around no more. They're in the spirit world right now, right? These are the kind of things that's happening. Because this is not a battle right now. Like you saw that if you look on the news, you'll see that the Klitschko brothers are saying that they want to go and be in this thing, right? Which is honorable because it's their people, right? But at the same time, this battle ain't about that kind of warfare. This battle is going to be with fire and flame. So being a mighty man with hand-to-hand combat ain't going to mean nothing. This is Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. For every battle of the war is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So what's getting ready to happen on the earth ain't nothing that a man can try and think, oh, well, I'm good at boxing, so I'll be good at this. Because when it comes to these types of things, a man that's good at boxing might get defeated by somebody that's good with a baseball bat. And a man that's good with a baseball bat might get defeated by somebody that's good with a knife. And a man that's good with a knife might get defeated by somebody that's good with a sword. And a man that's good with a sword might get defeated by somebody that's good with a gun. And a man that's good with a gun might be defeated by somebody that's good with a bigger gun. And all of them will be defeated by the country that's got the best nukes and shoots theirs off first. So that's what this battle's about. It's not about who got the best double jab and right hand in the game. So it's all well and good that they're joining onto it and trying to fight for their people, right? But it's not going to mean nothing ultimately. And I heard Apostle Tahar say that pretty much if they do fight, that they pretty much might even end up getting put to death, which is true. They might end up getting put to death because what's their boxing skill going to be worth when bullets are flying around? Nothing. This is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So the day, another name for the day of the Lord is Jacob's trouble, man. Because Israelites are going to be suffering the worst during this time. Because Yahawah is going to make it be that way. Because this is the time that after this, Israelites are not going to suffer again after this. So this is going to be the worst as it gets for Israelites, right? It's not going to be as bad as it gets for any of the other nations. Because after this happens and we're in rulership, they're going to experience even worse things. Because they're not going through this to get into the better side of what they're going to be like, man. They're still going to be suffering and going into slavery under us. Whereas we're going to be out of slavery after this day. After the day of the Lord comes, we're out of our bad times. So Yahweh's got to put these bad times on us because it's the last time that we're going to ever be like this. Verse 7 again. Alas, for that day is great, so that there is none like it. Is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So we're going to go through horrible things, man. But at the same time, we're going to be saved out of it, man. So don't be believing what these people are saying that we're not going to see nothing, that we're going to be raptured out. Because if you're walking around believing that you're going to be raptured out before anything goes down, and you think, oh, it's World War III's coming, so long, suckers, and start trying to come with all of that, you're going to be looking stupid as hell when you're still on Earth, seeing things, man. You're going to still be on Earth until the nukes get shot off, man. If you have the elect. It says that the righteous shall scarcely be saved. It's going to be scarce, man. And women that have been proud, I don't think they really understand what's coming to them, man. Those women over in Ukraine right now are not being proud, or they're faking humility at least. That's what I'll say. Because women are good actors, man. Women know the right thing. Women know how to adapt real nice. And women know how to pick the winner too. Right? They know how to try and pick the winner. And most men in the world are simps. Whereas when the elect become the winners, they ain't going to be just picking women based on the curvature. Because women are going to be changed anyway, man. They're going to be picking women based on something more righteous. And ultimately, the women that get picked are based on who Yahawah's picked for those particular men. So Yahawah's going to choose the best of the best. Or the best of the worst, to say it like that. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened. So we're getting ready to see things. All right? Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So we're getting ready to see things. It says immediately after the tribulation of those days. And there's another scripture that I'm about to get right now that says, think not that I'm come to send fire upon the earth. I believe it says. Let me get it, man. This is Luke chapter 12 and verse 51. Suppose ye that, it says peace. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. I tell you nay, but rather division. So if you're on the earth, get ready to see the divisions. Get ready to see these Edomites expose what they really think of you. Get ready to experience racism. Get ready to experience classism and racism combined. Get ready for your friends and your neighbors to turn their back on you. Get ready for some of your family members to even turn their back on you. Expect all of these things, man. Expect betrayal. Expect bad times, because that's what's coming. Luke chapter 12 and verse 51. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. I tell you nay, but rather division. For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided. There 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. So it's get ready for divisions, man. The father shall be divided against the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. So there's divisions, man. Get ready for divisions. Divisions are going to be in all things. There's going to be divisions regarding getting juiced up in your arm. There's going to be divisions based on whose fault certain wars are. There's going to be divisions based on whether you should or shouldn't get a device put in your hand or in your forehead. There's going to be divisions on all types of things. There's going to be divisions on what belief systems people have. There's going to be Israelites, some that believe that they're Israelites, and others that believe that they're black Africans in the Egyptian mummies, you know, on some bugged out doctrines. And then there's going to be people that believe the real truth. And in all of these things, women's pride is going to be the main thing that's going to be humbled, man. When I heard I had to delete a video that I made yesterday, in fact, because it was saying that women in Ukraine have been drafted, and I didn't know 100% if it's true. So Salakia, if anybody saw that, but I've took it down, man. All right, because I don't know if it's 100% true that that's the case. But I know for a fact that the women are not proud right now. I know that women are not proud right now, talking all that equality stuff. They ain't wanting equality rights when it comes to having to fight and go up against some mad 6'5" Russian that's waving around an AK-47. They ain't wanting equality with that. Isn't that surprising? And that's sarcasm, by the way, for people that don't understand that. This is Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. The vintage is failed over there in Ukraine right now. There ain't no vintage over there. And it's not hard for these things to happen over here. And that's what people always forget, man. These things happen quick when they happen. When these things happen, it changes overnight, man. The world's changed and people's thought processes change overnight. I remember in December 2019, everyone was hearing about this disease going around this certain thing that's affected the world right now, right? And they was mocking the Moabites. But then as soon as, like 3 months later, it affected the whole world, and their whole cities was getting locked down and they couldn't go nowhere, and they was having to stay in the house. And even if they did come out the house, there wasn't nothing open anyway. So it's not hard for things to quickly change, man. And that's why you women need to humble down and stop being proud, man. Because when it goes down and men don't want to deal with you, what you gonna say then? You ain't gonna be able to come to a man like how you come to him now. Right? You ain't gonna be able to say, so what have you did for me? I can do bad by myself. The man will be like, go on then, bitch. Do bad by yourself. Because the best thing that you've got to offer me, I can take for free. That's what the man's gonna be saying. And if you don't know what I mean by that, well, think for a second, man. A lot of these women, the best thing that they've got to offer, men are gonna be able to take that for free in that day. And I'm not gonna say no more on that. And that's why women should not be proud, man. Because all the things that they've had anyway, that they've been boasting about, men have enforced for them to be able to even think that way. They ain't been able to enforce it for themselves. Men have enforced it for them. All their so-called rights that they have. And all the pride that they have. That's enforced by men. They're not the ones defending it for themselves. Men are actually allowing them to have it. Verse 11. Tremble ye women that are at ease. Be ye troubled. Ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. And there's many things that are happening like regarding this. Like for one thing that's going to happen is they're going to try and blame this on. I saw a brother posting some things up that they're going to try and blame this as the reason why there's food shortages, when really it's because of all the BS that they was doing regarding this C-19 thing anyway, right? And all the BS that they did regarding the Brexit and all of these types of things. But they're going to try and blame this as the reason why there's no food, even though they've been paying people to destroy crops leading up to this, because they want to try and starve people out to create dire situations so that then they can bring in the MOTB to get what they really want to get going. They've already implanted all of these people with all these things to make them sick for when they start spraying other things in the air that they're going to do, and all the other madness and all the other plagues that they're going to give. Even though really, they've already injected people with a plague anyway. And people willingly did it. People willingly accepted themselves to be plagued and injected. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men. In fact, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction drove nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. And that's what's getting ready to happen right now. right? That's what's getting ready. Like, a lot of people expect that war just happens straight away. No, there's a build up to all of these things. Just like how when you might see two boxers fighting, there's a build up. They know they want to fight this guy. They know he's a tough opponent, so they train up, right? They start assessing what his weaknesses are. Oh, he's good with the jab, so I gotta get a better defense for the jab. Or I gotta change my footwork and alter my foot movements, my foot patterns for moving towards the jab. I gotta try and take away what he can do good, and I gotta be able to use what he can do good against him. Oh, I know he's bad here, so I'm gonna do this on him. That's what's happening with this war. They're looking at the other country's strength, so they're like, well, if we attack on water, they'll be able to defeat us there. So let's try and attack more airborne. Oh, but they're good here though. Oh, they've got aircraft carriers, so we'll try and destroy those through water. Oh, they've got more planes, so we need more air defense systems. I'm not trying to make her like I'm some military expert, but you're gonna try and find out a way to destroy their military and save as much of yours, whichever way that happens, man. And that's what's getting ready to happen. And where are women's thoughts in that? Does anyone care about women's rights when it comes to this kind of stuff? No, they don't. Women's opinions are not going to matter during these times. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And that's what is happening in Ukraine. Men are wanting to try and leave, and if they can get out in time, then fair enough, they get to leave. But it's actually illegal right now for them to leave. They're actually being banned from leaving. And obviously some men are going to leave and get away with leaving. But if they get caught, then they're going to get told, now you got to stay. Verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And women have added to a lot of that pride. A lot of the pride that he's talking about here come from women, because women are way more proud than men. Women have got way more pride than men, man. Women are not humble. Women are a lot less humble than men. A lot less. Considering the scriptures say that from the woman came sin, and through her we all die. These women have got a lot to say. Considering it's their fault why men actually die on the earth. They got a lot to say, right? Well, it is what it is, man. Yahawah's getting ready to he's gradually building up to the ultimate destruction, man. And I'm going to end the lesson there. All praises to Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Makar Kodash, and Shalom to the nation of Israel. Shalom.